Will the California eviction moratorium end on September 30th, 2021? We don't know for sure yet, and we won't know till the very end based on what happened with SB 91 and AB 3088, which are California's other two eviction moratorium laws that preceded AB 832, the current law. Make sure you're ready as a California landlord or California tenant, just in case the California eviction moratorium comes to an end. This guide for California tenants and California landlords will give you each 3 tips that you need to make sure you follow to be ready for the end of the eviction moratorium. Plus, stick around to the end where we'll run through a quick preview of what happens after the eviction moratorium expires in the state of California. Hey there, Christian Walsh, real estate agent with Wire Associates. We're based in Southern California. We've been helping tenants and landlords and buyers and sellers navigate these crazy days in California and beyond. And we're here with a big update on the possibility of the California eviction moratorium finally coming to an end. So this guide for California landlords and California tenants is going to share the few steps you should take just before the eviction moratorium ends in California. We won't know for sure until the very end of the month whether it will be extended or replaced by a new eviction moratorium. So you need to be prepared either way. And remember, we can't give tax or legal advice, but for the most honest and up-to-date real estate advice, subscribe to this channel. One other important thing to remember is that there are local eviction moratoria in certain places throughout the state of California. For example, Los Angeles has their own. So if the California eviction moratorium expires, make sure you check your local area to see if there is a local eviction moratorium that's in place beyond the California eviction moratorium. So if you're ready to run through tips for California landlords and California tenants, hit that like button and let's get started. 3 tips for landlords. So number 1, landlords, make sure for any tenants who have missed payments of rent due to COVID-19 that you deliver the proper legal notices. And we have a link below so you can get a sample of those. Essentially, as we've talked before, the 3-day notice for non-payment has not been around for over a year now. Right now, what you need to do is give the 15-day notice. We have a sample in the link below. This is required to give to the tenant in the event that they haven't paid rent. In addition, with the 15-day notice, you will also need to include a blank COVID-19 declaration of hardship. And there's a sample of those as well. So it's up to the landlord to deliver both of these notices. Make sure if you haven't yet delivered any, that you at least get one delivered in the month of September for any tenants who have missed payment of rent. Number 2 is you're going to visit housingiskey.com and apply for rental assistance. In many cases, your tenants may have already started. And if you have any questions on that, you can look at some of our other content where we give you a walkthrough, or you can call the housingiskey.com hotline at 833-430-2122. Number 3 tip for California landlords: be ready for an extension of the eviction moratorium. We won't know for sure until the very end of the month whether this bill will finally end or be replaced or extended. So you have to be prepared as a landlord. Keep your ear out, keep watching our content here, and we'll keep you informed as a landlord so that you know if the California eviction moratorium is finally ended. 3 tips for tenants. So number 1 is tenants, if you've missed payments of rent and your landlord has delivered the 15-day notice and blank declaration, make sure you return a signed copy of that blank declaration if you have indeed suffered a hardship due to loss of income due to COVID-19. Get that blank declaration returned to the landlord. Number 2, and I told landlords the same thing, visit housingiskey.com and apply for rental assistance. We've created additional content that you can watch on how to apply to housingiskey.com as a tenant. And if you have additional questions, you can always call the hotline at 833-430-2122. The third thing for California tenants to note is you must be ready to pay a minimum of 25% of monthly missed rent from September 2020 through September 2021 by the end of September. So in those 13 months we just referenced under AB 832, tenants, if you haven't paid a minimum of 25% for any of those months, make sure you have your money set aside so that you can pay it by the end of this month. If you do this, the landlord cannot evict you for non-payment of rent in those previous months. Make sure you check your local area to see if an eviction moratorium is in place that doesn't require that you pay the 25%. Another important point for California landlords and California tenants is that you reach out for legal assistance if you have any questions or need legal advice. So landlords, you will find a good local eviction attorney. Usually you can find those by searching for apartment or landlord associations in your area. And tenants, what you're going to do is you're going to search for legal aid in your area or visit lawhelp.org to search in your area for free or low-cost legal assistance. Thanks for sticking around. We promise to share a preview of what life will look like after the California eviction moratorium is over. And here are some of the changes. Some things will go back to the way they were, and some things will go back to the way they were, but slightly different. So it's important that you stay tuned to our channel and we'll get you all the updates. Of course, you can subscribe and also subscribe to our free weekly email newsletter by clicking the link below, and we will continue to send updates during and after the eviction moratorium. Let's dive in right now. After the eviction moratorium, just remember, as I stated in the beginning, to double check and see if there's a local eviction moratorium in your area that may have been extended and is still in place. So definitely do that research to find out. Just because the state eviction moratorium expires, you may still be under an eviction moratorium at the county or city level. So do that research. Another important change: if a tenant does not pay rent for October and on into the future, they will receive a 3-day notice to pay or quit. And this is a new 3-day notice. It's not like the old one we had before COVID, and no longer will a 15-day notice be required like it is now. So once the eviction moratorium is over, a new 3-day pay or quit notice will be used in the event that the tenant does not pay rent for a month going forward. Another big change: landlords will be required to apply for rental assistance going forward after October before moving forward with any unlawful detainer action related to non-payment of rent. So even if a tenant doesn't blame COVID-19 for non-payment of rent, the landlord will still be required in the short term to apply for rental assistance. So our advice is, landlords, just do it right now, get that out of the way. Another big change is that for the COVID-19 rental debt, which is any rent that was not paid previously before the end of the eviction moratorium, the landlord will have to go to small claims court to recover the COVID-19 rental debt, and that will start on November 1st, 2021. Another big thing that will change when the eviction moratorium is over is potentially the protections for tenants for just cause terminations of tenancy will be over. So it will be easier for landlords to terminate a tenancy. For example, when a tenant's lease is coming to an end, a landlord will be able to elect to non-renew that lease. Some of the just cause protections that are currently in place under AB 832 will be gone. Do you think the eviction moratorium will end at the end of September? Or do you think it'll be extended or some new bill put in place? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to our free weekly email newsletter. It comes out on Sundays. We have a link below so you can do that so that you know when it ends and any changes that are going to be in place in the state of California for tenants and landlords. This is your resource for that info. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Christian Walsh, real estate agent with Wire Associates, and we appreciate you.